Welcome everyone to a DeeKay Reddit video. I am currently sweating my tits off. But that's right on theme for today's video because we're looking at super short scary stories to read from summer. I thought what better way to wrap up the summer than going into spooky season with some super short scary stories. Let's get straight into this. Wait, hang on, change the colour grading so it looks a bit more spooky. There you are. Portion control. Are you sure you want to eat all that? The question was posed gently, but still felt like a punch to my gut. My husband stood behind me and rubbed my shoulder supportively as I slowly downsized the portions on my plate. He was right, of course. I was being childish. It had been a few months now, and the baby weight was stubbornly hanging on. Tim was only helping me be the best version of myself. My initial hurt transformed into the usual nagging guilt. I did spend a lot of time gazing at my little daughter. I knew I could use that time to work out and better myself, but I couldn't help being amazed by her little details. The plump tiny toes, the small bump of the nose, her squishy little thighs. We named her Clara, but I called her Clary. Tim wants to help me get back on track. Of course, I also hadn't failed to notice where his face changed when he looked at my stomach or my stretch marks. He'd never admit it, but disgust lurked in his eyes in these moments, and I felt him pulling away. I sighed and scraped more untouched food back. Tim glowed and pulled me close, whispering, "I'm really proud of you." Hope bloomed in my chest. Within weeks, my friends and family were noticing a difference. My friends gushed about how easily I lost the baby weight. Tim came back to me. I felt sexy and proud. Before long, I reached my goal weight, but Tim encouraged me to keep going. Another 5 pounds, then another. It seemed less of me there was, the more of it he wanted. My friends stopped gushing and started giving me worried looks instead, so I stopped seeing them. It was okay. I had Tim and my little Clary. It was almost time for my weekly weigh-in with Tim, but I had to get lunch ready for Clary first. Tim had suggested it as a way to up my awareness of my body. It was humiliating, but I could see his point. When he showed me all the extra inches, it had been really motivating to try even harder. Tim came into the kitchen as I was getting the food onto Clary's plate. She was growing into such a sweet, healthy girl, and I still loved to squeeze her squishy little thighs. Tim stopped and stared disapprovingly at her plate. "Do you really think she should eat all that?" After he left, I stared at Clary for a long time, then at my reflection in the kitchen window. The police looked for a long time, but eventually the missing person case ran cold. People felt sorry for me, but I was okay. I had what I needed. Clary giggled next to me over our second slice of pizza. Turns out, after all, the only thing I needed to lose was Tim. Holy shit, that was not the twist I was expecting. Really subverted my expectations going on there. Loved this, didn't know where it was going, but it was an excellent ending and very well written. Thanks for sharing it. Thank you, that's really nice. I struggled a little with the ending, but overall I'm happy with how it turned out. Happy ending is good. I expected something a lot darker, but I'm glad it ended like this. Okay, came here to say the same thing. Usually accidentally guess the ending, but this one was so well written it kept me guessing. Love that she realised what needed to be done. I agree. Yeah, for a little bit there, it sounded like another r/niceguys post. We just can't escape that on this YouTube channel. By the way, if you want to see more of that, leave a like and comment saying so. Leg got. I don't know why I said it like that. Our owner. Yes, he probably bought us online. Brought us to life with the old top that he had found. Doc had figured this out early. He was a fireman, like the rest of us in the set 60320. Our owner, a 30-something loner whose entire house was a man cave, had mindlessly tossed the hat onto a stuffed badger, saw it come to life, and put 2 and 2 together. He then woke us up, along with the castle, the Seinfeld apartment, the Star Wars base, and the other sets. He could have made a lot of money, parlaying this into something big, though unpleasant for us. Instead, he preferred to have his own secret, cruel kingdom. He poked and prodded at us, disappointed that the Princess Leia was still plastic, and then started experimenting. The king pulled Lenny in half, and both halves squirmed and wriggled as Lenny screamed. Then he swapped Lenny and Sheila halves. He then assembled a small plate, 4 wheels, and Lenny's top half to make a robot. Lenny spun around crazily, and the king laughed when he tipped over. Neither Lenny nor Sheila are okay now. Something in their minds snapped. The head is plastic, but the soul, when damaged, cannot be replaced. He did even worse things later. The Elaine Cthulhu stood out as especially cruel. We had to stop him. Escaping would be dicey. We could hear dogs and cats outside from time to time. No, we had to take him out. But how? Our helicopter had no weapons, and even then, they'd be tiny plastic projectiles. The X-Wing fighter our colleagues could fly weighed about 60 grams. Even a kamikaze headshot might not injure him, and if you aim at the king, you best not miss. How about a hyperspace jump, like in Star Wars 8, Doc suggested. None of us had seen the movie, but we still knew it. The Star Wars guys had not, but they tried going FTL and failed. The X-Wing could only go about as fast as a kid could throw it. I noticed how the king always had to wake up to pee around 3 AM, energy drinks, Mountain Dew, and whatnot, and formulated an idea. We set it up that night, took position, and watched. In the dim moonlight, he stumbled his way towards the bathroom, Nearly there, he hit our first coal drop, nice and sharp against his bare feet. Ouch, he yelled, losing his balance, hitting another one, and that stumbling stride took him to the top of the stairs and over. We heard a thump, thump, thump as he dipped out of sight, and then nothing at all for 5 minutes. We sent out Harry in the chopper. Stay 500 feet up, Doc warned. Yeah, he looks dead, Harry confirmed. Twisted neck, eyes open, not moving. Roger that, Harry, I said. Return to base. These humans were trouble. We have to see what else the hat could do. That's the most fucked up Toy Story I've ever watched in my life. No wonder Toy Story never got an R-rated version. The little brat from Toy Story finally got what was coming to him. Wow, I'm very impressed. You took the toys coming to life trope and kicked some major ass. This is freaking awesome all around. Love this. This was great. I agree. This was great. A small price to pay. There's been a killer in my neighbourhood. He's taken the lives of some of my classmates, friends and others in the area. The police have been busy as of late and have barely been able to keep up with the murders. I have though. I've tracked this man down to a forest just outside of town. It's known for being thick and hard to navigate, making it the perfect place to hide bodies. Seems like this man never heard of not returning to the same place twice though. I've been tailing him with a pocket knife in hand for the past hour. I would do whatever it takes to end this sick bastard. It was already 1 AM and the night was darker than usual. The moon was slightly out, illuminating a thin path through the forest for me to work with while following the man. I'm lucky that he didn't notice me, considering how his footsteps were loud with the boots he wore, not to mention the clanking sound of the shovel and other tools he had in the bag over his shoulder. He would stop and turn on the lantern as he pulled out a shovel and started digging. He had to finish up hiding one more body. The very sight of the lumps in the ground holding other bodies sickened me. I waited patiently as the hole got deeper and deeper. Once he stopped, I got up and lunged at him. Taking advantage of his exhausted nature, I got him down to the ground and started beating him with multiple blows. He seemed to just take the damage and push me back unfazed. I got up only to be socked in the gut. The wind was knocked out of my body at that moment. As I hit the ground, I gathered my strength and drove the blade into his foot. I had damaged his ankle and his Achilles tendon. In a burst of anger and pain, he reached down and grabbed me by the neck. He choked me with strength I did not expect from him. He was certainly aged, but that didn't seem to affect his strength. I would kick, punch and hit him, only to slowly lose my last bit of breath. Everything went black for a while before I opened my eyes. I was alive? No, I was dead. I stood up only to see my body laying on the ground with a large wound around the neck. Shit, so much effort, only for it to be in vain. At least it's what it seemed like until I looked around. I could see everyone that had died, all of them glowing a white aura. I watched the man got up. He stood there for a mere second before his leg gave out and he fell backward. The back of his head struck a rock, killing him right there. If my death contributed to stopping him, then that's a small price to pay, I said, smiling. Very short, simple story, but very effective. This is my second ever story. Let me know what you think. I have a love for horror and want to write more of it. This was an idea I had today and wanted to try putting it into form. As long as that murder in the woods doesn't turn to another fucking Slenderman creepypasta, then you're alright. Great job. Keep them coming. I'll try my best. Alright, everybody listen up, the camp counselor yelled into the field of children. They assembled around him and after some time they finally began to quiet down. Okay, who here has not played carnival before? A few kids raised their hands timidly. A couple of the regular campers scoffed, as if in disbelief someone could live all 10 years of their life without playing carnival. Alright, I'll explain it for the new people. He held up a green string in one hand, which he altered with others throughout the presentation. You get the green string if you are a herbivore. Everyone eats you, you eat no one. He handed these out randomly and there were groans and a few whispers. You get the yellow string, you're an omnivore. You can eat herbivores and everyone else can eat you. He handed those out to a few more satisfied sounding kids. You get the red string, you're a carnivore. You can eat the herbivores and omnivores. He handed these out to a few very happy 10-year-olds. There are only a couple strings left. He gave one which was pale and pink to a small girl. You are man, you kill everyone I've mentioned so far. He handed a black string to a small boy. You are disease. You can kill everyone including man. Everyone took a minute to look around at who had which strings. Okay, one group at a time. Herbivores, go. He let the children run out into the woods. This part was always a little nerve-wracking and he hoped that none of them got lost. Daniel had picked the unlucky herbivore string. He ran through the forest looking over his shoulder, scared of who might find him. Soon enough, he stumbled upon Sally, an omnivore with a yellow string tied to her wrist. She took him by the hand and led him through the trees towards the place where they had entered. He was dead. Unfortunately for both of them, Sally's progress was interrupted by Jonathan, a carnivore who saw them while lying quietly in the leaves. He pounced like a cheetah, catching up with them and tackling them to the ground, laughing. 3 of them were discovered by Rebecca, a little girl with pale pink string tied around her wrist. But they managed to outrun her. She chased after them, laughing until she was discovered by Brian. His black string reminded her that he was diseased, and even man could not survive disease. Brian held her hand and walked with her back towards the forest entrance. When they emerged, they saw carnage and mayhem like they had never witnessed before. A huge black set of wings unfurled and a beak opened full long razor sharp teeth. It snapped shut around them, and then everything went dark. Here we go for correct pronunciation. Chizuzubezeki, god of the skies, looked at all the colourful strings he had collected and smiled. They never saw him coming. This one's inspired by a game I remember playing at summer camp as a kid. I hope you all enjoyed it. For more of my work, please check out my subreddit. Nice. And you know what? I agree. That was nice, and so was this video. Thank you to everyone out there who made it to the end of this DeeKay YouTube video. I'll be uploading to this channel every single week, so if you don't want to miss a video, make sure to subscribe and turn the post notification on. And if you did make it this far, please make sure to leave a like and comment saying your favourite bit from this video, as that will help me out so much in YouTube's algorithm. Thanks to everybody for watching, and for a final note for this video, watch Arcane on Netflix.